Hello, I'm Ruby Red Heart, and today we're playing inZoi. This is the beginning of the game when you launch it. This is what you will see. I had to cut out part of this, the part that I talked about before that didn't load, the part with the cats. Not this first section, but I'll let you know when we get there. I completely took out the music, not because I think that it's copyrighted, but it's possible, but because I heard some background noise from my family members behind it, and I figured that wouldn't be that fun. But I actually decided that I wanted to recreate some Naruto characters. After doing the Spy Family ones. I had actually made other inZois. Actually no. I think that I did Hinata before I made those other inZois. But I did Hinata, Sasuke, and Sakura. But I only have part of Hinata's footage because for whatever reason, my screen recorder completely, just after 11 minutes, cut off. So there's only going to be like 2 minutes of what I have for Hinata, but she does wind up looking very good in the end. And I would recommend that whenever inZoi comes out, going to my Canvas page, which is Ruby Red Heart, assuming that I can get access to it again, but regardless, that's where it would be. And you will see all these characters. Hinata is the one that I learned how to do, like, the eyes. I learned how to do the eyes on her. Sakura, I learned how to create a custom outfit, or at least, I think I just did a top. Maybe I also did a bottom that was custom for her. But really, these were the ones that I was learning a lot with. I don't necessarily like the outfit that I made for Sasuke. I wish that I had switched the pants to these pants that are like normal cut pants, and then at the bottom they kind of go in on them. But again, I can't show you the access to that. Also, I lost the footage of both of my ugly/weird characters that I created to kind of push inZoi as far as I could. They were very good. Actually, one of them, I was told by my brother's friend, was a crime against humanity, which I really wish that I could show you guys it. But I completely don't have footage from this day, and it was in a completely different recording. I found out that this is something that can happen with the software that I've been using as a recording. At the time, it was up to date, but like 5 days later, they came out with a new updated version. So that's probably why it glitched out and messed up. This is not the first time that it's messed up. So I will be, from now on, recording using 2 softwares. So we're going to see how that goes. I have no clue how the other software works yet, so I'm gonna have to work on that. But after making Hinata, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so much fun, so cool. And I did like Sakura and Sasuke. I was like, man, I want to make some more Naruto characters. So I decided that I'd make Naruto because he's the main character of the entire anime. And what I always do whenever I'm creating a character in inZoi is I find a Zoi that looks as close to possible to the character already, so that I don't have to adjust as much of their body and their facial features and things like that. And I have to say that Naruto, I think, looks similar to, like, if Naruto was a real life person. But out of the 3 that I made In this video that I'm going to show you the footage of, I made Naruto, inZoi, and Neji. Neji and inZoi I really like the best out of them, and I kind of regret not making Sai, inZoi's future husband. And I also kind of regret not making any other characters. Like when I made those ugly characters, I realized that I could push the facial stuff a lot further, and that I could also turn the characters to the side, which this happened between the three that, between Hinata, Sasuke, and Sakura. I made the ugly characters. I did one that's symmetrical and one that's asymmetrical. The asymmetrical one, sorry, is the one that I learned how to change backgrounds with, that I also learned how to change to the side view of the character. And I actually learned a lot more about making Zois using those two. So if you do get inZoi, I'd recommend just going into it and making an ugly or weird character, something that you could not make in real life, probably. You could also do just a character that's very exaggerated, like Yzma from Cusco, I think is what it is. It's that Disney movie that Disney eventually made a show of a long time ago. I watched it when I was a kid, so this would have been in the 2000s. It was a great show and stuff, but I really would recommend that you do that. I also learned with Hinata how to change pupil size and stuff like that, so you'll see me changing pupil size and things to make these characters look better. That's actually why I think made Neji look so good, and also inZoi, because both Neji and inZoi in the shows have very, I think that inZoi has people still, but she might not. From what I've seen, she actually doesn't. But seriously, all these tiny things really makes your character come to life. I hadn't been using the makeup to its full extent until later into my making of Zois, and you'll start to see me do that here, because this is one of the last things that I made in inZoi, which it sucks that I lost my recording because I lost 5 hours of footage. That would have been 2 more videos at least of inZoi, but life happens. And I still had a lot of fun creating those. I just wish I could have shown you my progression with inZoi a lot more. And I think that if you want another simulation game, I don't think that this game will necessarily take the place of The Sims, because your PC has to be a minimum of a mid-range PC to even run it. And also, comparing back to The Sims 4, all of the hairstyles that they have, there's a lot more customization that you have with this version of inZoi than you did with the base game of The Sims 4 when it came out. Now, I will say this, there is a possibility that a lot of these things will not be in inZoi when it comes out. I hope that they do have these things and that they fix how the bodies look, at least from the side view. The front view of bodies actually looks pretty good. It's just when you turn them to the side, it looks like they don't have enough depth, especially for heavier set Zois. I think that I only made one that was heavier set, And that's just because I wanted to mess with the bodies as much as I could, and I didn't want to necessarily worry about that as much, because I did test it with the 2 ugly Sims that I did to kind of show different opposites. I made one asymmetrical and heavier set, and then one skinnier but symmetrical. And I have to say that the symmetrical one, I kind of eventually really liked how she turned out, and that's what made me think of inZoi. When I do get inZoi, like when it comes out, I will be probably making inZoi and some of these other characters with exaggerated facial features, because I really do think that you could pull them off in inZoi, which I didn't expect. And I know that I'm talking about Zoi that you can't physically see right now, but I'm not too happy with Naruto in comparison to the others. I do think that he looks like Naruto, but I wish that I could have gave him like spikier hair, or you know, made his hair look more like his, because it's more realistic. It doesn't make sense for him to have such bright yellow hair. So eventually I will be switching his hair color from that bright yellow, almost macaroni colored hair, to a more dirty blonde kind of hair color to make it look better. And then I just had to keep on messing with the eyes until I was kind of happy with them. And I think that the reason why I didn't like how Naruto turned out in comparison is because I was thinking about how well Hinata wound up turning out, which I cannot show you a picture of. I wish I could. Really do. But he does still turn out looking like Naruto. I think that I was just being hard on myself comparing him. But I really would like to know what you guys are thinking about inZoi. If you like it, if you don't like it. I've seen a lot of backlash against it. I've seen a lot of people praising it. And honestly, I think that I'm going to play with it because it looks fun. It looks cute. Looks like you can do a lot of things with it. And as somebody that likes The Sims 4, obviously I do. I just hate that right now my game is basically unplayable. Due to all the glitches that are happening in the gameplay mode. And build mode is almost unplayable too, because when I made my lighthouse video, every single time that I put down a light, eventually that light would stop giving off light, so I'd have to delete it and put in a new light over and over again. And doing that during a build just doesn't make sense over time. And, yeah. So that's just, I think the biggest issue with The Sims 4 is that they're trying to force it to last longer than it really needs to. I honestly think that they should have made The Sims 5 by now. And The Sims 4, I don't see it having much longer that people can play with it, because I'm not the only one having such bad bugs with it, and that sucks because I really do like playing in it. That's why I have 800 plus hours in it. And anyway, back to inZoi. I always add like different underwear just because I don't like having default swatch. It's kind of like whenever you're playing, again, back to The Sims, and The Sims, and then you leave a default roof or something. Those are the pants, by the way, that I wish that I had put on Sasuke. I didn't. I created I think it was shorts or something for him, or maybe I put shorts on him, and then I gave him like these accessories, or maybe I just gave him boots. I don't remember exactly, but I did that to try and imitate his outfit in Naruto Shippuden, and you'll notice that most of the characters that I did, actually no, I think all of them, I just kind of tried to recreate how they looked in Naruto Shippuden instead of the original Naruto or Boruto. Because yes, there are pictures of them in Boruto. I do like how they look in Boruto, but I personally quit watching it after a while because, I don't know, it just kind of felt like there was double the amount of, like, filler content, and it didn't seem like the plot was moving along, like, at all at some points. And yes, that can still be fun, but at some point, you gotta kind of give up on it. Or maybe you keep on going with it, because maybe the filler content is just fun for you. Which, I'd argue that, yeah, it is still fun for me, in my opinion. It's just that, given my limited amount of time, I'd rather be spending it watching something that kind of goes somewhere, you know? Or is, like, extremely relaxing or fun. I didn't feel like Boruto was fulfilling that for me. But I gave him, but back to Naruto. I gave him this yellow, orange, I guess it's orange, pants and jumpsuit because I felt like it would look like his outfit. I do think that this is as close as you can get for a Naruto outfit in inZoi. And then I did black accents because that's what they had in the show. And I figured out what trait I felt like fit him the best. So I was kind of looking through, reading all of them, and I don't remember which one I gave him, but I thought that it fit him pretty well. Oh! I think that it was Charmer. I think that that's what I landed on. Yes, it was Charmer. And it's because they kind of fixate on things, they're kind and all that. It just kind of fit Naruto if you just read the description of it. And also the character traits. He is ambitious in the show. He's sociable. He's kind. He's possessive, I think is what it was, or something. But regardless, I felt like it fit him. And you're going to notice I also learned how to pause to take pictures. So my picture game in these ones are so much better than what I did even last video that you saw. And that's because there's a little bit of missing footage, but that's okay. I wanted him to be lined up with the wings because Naruto oftentimes saves his friends or tries to be generally a good person and stuff, so I kept on. I also liked where the photo op was, so you know, I just kind of play with it a lot, and you'll see me go through and just kind of pausing to look at possible ways that I could have him pose. It's just so much fun seeing all these different places where you can pause. And by the way, this is sped up slightly, so considering that, it is much easier to find things that you like. But I will say some of these dances are a little fast. So it is kind of hard to get the exact right moment to pause, but you can. I've done it, and I'm sure that if you decide to play it, that you'd be able to. And I just kind of like had fun with this. And I really did like having a bunch of different versions of full bodies or like half body pictures so that you can see the face kind of better in some of them. And then I gave it a title, which is just his name, Naruto Uzumaki. And then I just said, essentially, I recreated Naruto Uzumaki. Yeah, I think I did a relatively good job on Naruto. Now that I'm looking back on it, I don't know why I was so kind of hating this one. It's not the best. I'm sure I could have done better at some point, but I still think that it's really good. Now, I still don't know if you can actually search to find where any of these Zois are when you get Canvas. I hope that you can search because it would make it much easier to find what you want. And if inZoi comes out and it does not have a way to search, then I think that everybody should be like, hey, we gotta fix that. Because, oh, and this is the symmetrical one that I made that I kind of really liked how she turned out. And then, I don't know if I click on this one. This is another one that I do not have footage of. I did record her, and I was going to put her with the video that I'm going to be doing next week, where I'm trying to make good-looking characters of different races, mixed races, things like that, to see really what you can do. Because most of these characters, even though that you can kind of see how much you can push facial expressions in inZoi, and it gives you a good place to kind of look at what you're doing. The issue with that is just most of these characters are Asian, if not all of these characters. I think that there's one or two that I don't think that you could consider Asian, but they were made by Japanese people, so they're very much still inspired by Japanese people. Like, I don't think that you can consider Lloyd Forger from last video to be Asian, but he is a spy, so I wouldn't necessarily expect him to look the same as everybody else, because he probably just moves around a lot. And so that's my thoughts on that. But we're now doing Neji. I picked Perfectionist for him because he is rational, he's responsible, he's definitely methodical, he is typically composed, he is principled, he has different beliefs in the show, and considering how their family is structured, Neji Hyuga would obviously be principled because of his family traditions and things like that. And he's also ethical, which I do think matches Neji from Naruto, at least Naruto Shippuden. I'm not going to spoil anything about Neji, like what happens to him in the show, but he was definitely my favorite. Well, maybe not my favorite, but one of my favorite characters. Really, it sucks how they changed the Ajitsu for the Uchiha clan to be so much better than the Ajitsu of the Hyuga clan, because honestly, the Hyugas were my favorite. All of them. Hinata, great. Honestly, Hinata is one of my favorite characters from the Naruto series, both Naruto Shippuden and also Naruto, like, the kid version of them. And then after Hinata, I would say it would be Rock Lee. Rock Lee's story is my favorite from the original Naruto, and then to see him, even though that he can't use jutsu, to actually be able to fight like anybody else is absolutely amazing. It shows kids or anybody else that watches it, like, hey, just because you can't do something doesn't mean that you can't still do something in the same field, you know? But you'll see now that I'm making Neji. I made Neji's skin a little bit darker than I did Hinata's, because to me Neji always looked kind of tanned, and I don't know if it's just the colors that they chose for his hair that makes him look like that, but I did decide that I wanted him to look a little bit tanned. And then for Hinata, I made her eyes a little bit more on the blue side, but for Neji, I think that I went more gray for him, because Neji's eyes always looked grayer to me, and Hinata's always looked a little bit bluer, so I went with that, and it actually works with their colors a lot better in my opinion, so I would believe that the artist did that on purpose to make them more distinct from each other, even though that they're family members. But again, for the lips, I keep on making them tiny because in these shows, typically they just give the characters a smile, like if you were to draw a smiley face, just like a little C that's on its side for the mouth. That's really what they do, or they'll put like two like half two lines, almost like you're going to do a C, but then you erase the middle of it for the mouth. And I had to figure out what kind of hair color I wanted to give him. I knew brown, but I wanted it to be kind of a warmer tone brown because I always liked how well his hair color matched like the rest of him character-wise. So I went with, I think, a slightly warmer brown than maybe I needed to, but I do think that it works out pretty well. And both Neji and Hinata had very long hair, so I didn't want to give them the same hair color because I thought about giving Neji this hair color. And yes, he does keep his hair up, but I thought about it. And then I was like, well, I gave this exact hair color to Hinata. I mean, not hair color, hairstyle to Hinata. So I kind of looked around for another hairstyle that was up because I was like, I'd rather his hair be up anyway, because in the show, while he has long hair, he has a little like hair bow towards the end of it. So I eventually decided that I'd just give him a full ponytail. Like maybe he just did his hair for the day and it hasn't like slowly fallen down his hair like it normally has, which is why I did that. And then I guessed on his body because most of the time, if ever we... Actually, I don't think that we've ever seen any of Neji's body other than in his normal outfits. Whereas Naruto, you have seen him without his shirt because when he was training with, I think it was... No, it wasn't Guy. The one with the spiky hair, and he had all the shadow clones. he had to do some training under a waterfall, so he had a shirt off for that one. And that's, I think, one of the only times that we've ever seen a Naruto character without a shirt. But then again, maybe I'm just misremembering. That might have been a different show. Anyway, I went with lots of tans and like olive green colors because his outfit was tan, like a grayish brown, and then olive green. So I tried to match his clothes to that, and I will say that most of these outfits are kind of boring looking in comparison because you can't really add like extra things. Like I can't give them like the more interesting parts of their outfits. I just kind of have to make it work with inZoi. And yes, you can create custom outfits, but it's very limiting because there's only like you pick the sleeves, you pick the neckline, and then you, I think, pick like the bottom of the shirt, and that's about it. And it's kind of similar to pants as well. You can also make shorts. I didn't see a way to make a skirt, but sorry, but you can add your own textures, and that will change the patterns on the skirts and things. You just would have to have that texture already on your computer, like download it in like a picture or something, and then you just put in my texture and put it on there. I would like to warn you though that if you're doing any of your own art stuff, technically inZoi owns anything that you put in the game, including like any of your face stuff that you make, like you modify all of your textures. And also, if you were to ever make a mod for the game or anything like that, then technically it would be inZoi's, just like The Sims 4. The same thing goes for The Sims 4. But also, any and all responsibility for copyright things will go onto you as the person that uploads it. So I would be very careful in what you upload for textures and things. If it's something that you're not sure who owns it, I would not put it up on the canvas page. I'd just leave it for your eyes only. I don't really think that anything would happen to you, but I would not recommend it just in case. You know? And that's only from what I understood of it and what other people have understood of it. It may be different than what I have stated. I would, if you are really worried about it, I would read the policies that inZoi has in depth and just be careful about that. But overall, you should not run into any issues like that, in my opinion. But I finished Neji's outfit with like a shirt over that white stuff because I was thinking like maybe you could take it off and like tie it around him to make his Naruto Shippuden outfit kind of. But I did more olive greens than the gray that probably should have been, but I just thought that it matched better with his shoes and everything else that he had as a character. And I tucked in his shirt because it looked like it would, like it was tucked in the show. But I just kind of, I then wanted to double check that I had everything where I wanted it to be. And I do do think that I'd move his face slightly more down to make it look more like Neji, because I had thought that I'd gotten the face right, and then I looked at it again and I was like, I think that his face needs to be like pulled down slightly more, because of where his eyebrows were. And then I raised his eyebrows and stuff, and I think that I did a relatively good job. I do switch his eyebrows out because I felt like the eyebrows that I had picked might not be the best for Neji's face. I was going to go with the very thin ones because it technically matched his character better, but I didn't like how it looked on him, so I've switched to a different pair. And by the way, I did mistype it and put an extra U and then I fixed it. But this is what I did with Neji. I tried my best. I am actually pretty proud of how Neji turned out. But out of all of the Naruto characters, the best one was Hinata, and I'm sorry that you can't see it. I wish that you could. But I guess it'll be a surprise whenever you get inZoi, so you can go on the canvas to see it. And I just did the same tags. I did Naruto, the name of the character, both the first and last name separated, and then anime, because I felt like those would be what you would look for if you were trying to find this specific character. And I had a lot of fun doing these, and I'll say that some of my favorite things about inZoi is that you can pick how your characters look. You can change the facial expressions that they're making. Then you can change how the camera is zoomed in, how much of the background you can see, if you can see any of the background, because you can completely remove the background. And then you could also move yourself in a position so you're above the character or beside the character, or like really whatever you want. It's so much fun being able to like pose your sim. And that's not something that you have to get a mod for. In The Sims 4, if you want to be able to pose your sim, you have to get a mod for it. And then still, for the mod, I think that you don't have control of how your sim is posed. You just kind of have to click the camera button until you get one that you're happy with. Now, that may be wrong because I don't play with mods, but I have seen people on The Sims play with mods, and that's how they did it. So there may be a new way that you can do it, or a better way that you can do it, but anyway. I really like Neji with his fist raised up because, well, I just feel like it makes perfect sense. Because they're like fighters and cheering each other on. And then I matched them up with the wings in the background as many times as I could. If you noticed, a lot of those photos I intentionally matched them up with the wings. And then I was reading about the Canvas Top 10 event, and I guess that people, I guess that somebody won already. I actually have not seen who has won, because I haven't been keeping track of it, but this already happened. The winners have already been announced. I guess on the inZoi website they've already announced it, so you can go look at that if you want to. But basically, almost none of my characters would have even had the ability to be in the contest, I don't think, or win the contest, because a lot of them were from Naruto and stuff. But some of them would be allowed to. Like, all the ones that I created just by myself would have been. And then after I made Neji, I actually was looking through on the internet looking at different options for characters that I can make. I was thinking about Sai, and I was thinking about Choji, and I was thinking about Rock Lee and things like that. But then I was like, well, I want another girl. Who could I do? And then I was like, well, I've already done Sakura, so I can't do her again. And then I eventually landed on Ino, because I really do like Ino, and I liked seeing how Ino and Sakura eventually did become friends. So then I had to look up her last name, because I didn't remember her last name, but apparently it's Yamaka? I probably butchered that, but I tried. And I think that this one I wound up using for my base sim because it looked so much like Ino when I first clicked on her. I was just like, oh my gosh, I think I can work with this. But of course I removed all of her makeup because I wanted to be able to see what's really going on with her face before I made any changes to it. And I do think that I did a good job. Oh my gosh, I really want to make from Teen Titans, not Teen Titans Go, but the original Teen Titans. I want to make Raven and Starfire. Those would be so great. I actually think that Ino would be a good base for Starfire, because I think that their faces already are somewhat similar. I'd have to change hair colors and things, and Starfire does also wear purple, and I'd also have to change her eyes a lot. But I do think that she would be a good base for me to do. Anyway, I'm just adding a laundry list of things I need to do when inZoi comes out because I'm a little bit excited. But when inZoi does come out, if you would like to see that, please subscribe and tell me in the comments, like, out of all of the things I've mentioned that I would like to make, what would you like to see first when it comes back? I hope that it comes out soon so that I can play more inZoi. Just saying. It's very much fun. But back to Ino. I was trying to get her eye shape just right because all of these anime characters have big eyes and I didn't want them to look crazy. So it's just a matter of like trying to make them look anime enough that you can see the character, but not so much that they look ugly or crazy, which is a fine line. And sometimes I wonder if I actually did a good job of it. But I just kind of kept on messing around until I got what I wanted to. And then I went to skin and I changed her skin. And I was like, I like this, but it has freckles. And Ino does not have freckles in the show, and that would look a little weird. So I just kind of had to go through and look at the options that I had. And I did my best. And if it doesn't look quite right, I always add makeup to make it look better. And then I kind of go through and look at all the hairs and be like, what looks the most like this character's hair? I just kind of click through until I find something that I like the look of. And I think that I go with this hair which I think I used it. Yeah, I used this hair also on Hinata, and then I just kind of went all the way up in the blonde and then went over and down until I finally got a hair color that didn't look like ramen noodles, but still looked similar to the hair in the show. And then I copied the key code. Actually, I don't know if I fully copied that one, but I tried to. So that if I wanted to change hair colors, I could. If I didn't, I didn't have to. And now I'm going through and looking at the eyes and making the pupils as small as possible until I found one that I liked. And I think this is the one that I went with. I just changed the color of them because her eyes are like a blue-green, kind of tealy color. And I think that now that you're seeing her face up close, you can kind of see why I think that she'd be a good base for Starfire. If you compare the characters, I think that she'd be a great base for Starfire from Teen Titans. And the reason why I wouldn't be able to do Teen Titans Go is because Teen Titans Go, they're tiny, like, characters, and they're more stylized. There's like no way that you could make a Zoe that looks like that. I don't even think that you can make a Sim that looks like that. Even with a mod to change the height, I don't think that would be possible. And I did change her chest and stuff because I wanted it to look more like her body type. So I changed as much of it as I could because I knew that you'd be seeing more of it because she wore a lot of crop tops and things. So I figured you'd have to be kind of particular about it, and then I went with her like purpley colors, or at least I tried to get to her purpley colors. I think that this is close as I could get from Naruto Shippuden. I could have also, for her hair, put it up in the same ponytail that I had given to Neji, because she did wear her hair up, but she also had bangs. So that would have been an option. But she had like side bangs and her hair was long. So I thought that I'd just give her long hair without the hair bow. But if you'd rather, you could have put her in Neji's hairstyle and then just copy like the key code that I had for her hair. Or you can find a new hair color that you like better if you were to download her. But I just matched her purples, and those are the exact same purples, by the way. I know that it might look slightly different, but that's just because of the texture of the outfits. And then I kind of looked for boots because that's what I found to be the best match for the sandals in the show that they had, because in the show they are like open-toed at the front, but they go up the ankle. So the longest thing that I saw that looked right would be these boots in particular. I think I used them on most, if not all, of my Naruto characters to try and make them look better. And then I gave her these like knee-high stocking things because I thought that it would look like just a little lot better and make her outfit look more unique. And then I made it this color because I think that matched something else on her outfit. I don't remember what. But then I looked her over, made sure that I was happy with her, and after that I was ready to take pictures. Oh wait, no. I think I changed her trait. Unless I didn't, because because I might not have. No, I did not change her trait. Whoops. But I do think that Perfectionist is okay for NL. It's not the best. I wish, though, that I had remembered to change her trait. But anyway, you can change that. Just whenever you download her, make sure that you download her in Kaz. And then once you have her in Kaz, just go through and find the trait that you like best. And if you want to, you can change her hairstyle or whatever. And then I wanted to line her up with the wings again because I really like this background, and I thought that this was the closest thing that I could get to, like, woods and things like that, or like a town and things like that. So I just kind of kept this background for all three of them, but I could have changed it. I know how to. I just thought that I'd keep it as this. And then I just kind of kept on looking through, finding different ways to do photos, but I'll let you enjoy that while I tell you a little bit more about my channel. I upload every Friday unless something happens at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, and I did go back and change her trait. Anyway, and if you would like to, you can subscribe. If you did not like this video, dislike it. Tell me in the comments why you didn't like it. If you did like it, and please tell me in the comments what you liked me to do. Also, if there are any characters that you would like to see me recreate in inZoi when it comes out, please let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. If you would like to, you can watch other videos that I have made. If you stay until the end of the video, then YouTube will show you one of my most recent videos and a video that YouTube thinks that you will like. So thank you for watching. Goodbye!